Welcome to Great Talking Entertainment. I'm your host, KJ, and this is the podcast where we review movies and TV shows from all your favorite superheroes, including Marvel Comics, DC Comics, and much more. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment official channel. Now let's go, baby! Now, as we continue on the new Disney Plus series, Ahsoka, this is going to be the episode 6 spoiler review. So if you have not seen this show, please pause this. Give me a thumbs up because that would definitely help my channel grow and get through the YouTube algorithm. Go watch it, all of it, 1 through 6 so far. Come back and then check out all my spoiler reviews, including of this one of the new series, Ahsoka. And now y'all been warned. So let's get into it. Here we go. Episode 6 starts off with a huge familiar characters, and a matter of fact, 2 familiar characters that all Star Wars fans will be very excited about. And the reveals are Thrawn and Ezra. Now, in the beginning of this episode, it starts off with Ahsoka and Yu-Hang. They're still riding along with the Progrils, aka the whales. And we get like this wholesome moment of the two kind of just talking and, trying to kill some time. They want to tell some stories, but, as Yu-Hang does, he shares some wisdom and knowledge and gives her like a harsh reality of truth of sometimes of Ahsoka's like BS and how she feels about Sabrin and how Sabrin feels about Ahsoka. And he's always been the one to be the one that kind of reminds them and puts them in their place in a way. And that's what Ewing has done with her again. And I thought that was just really cool. It's kind of like he's getting her prepared, like, don't go into this with these feelings because we're going to an uncharted place, like you never been there, and it's very important to know what you're doing there. And this is like a do or die because nobody knows what this place is like. And I think that's the best wisdom that Yu-Hang said to her so far to kind of get her ready for this. And as this episode continues on, we see that Sabrin, Balin, Skrull, Shin, all meet up to where we see the 3 Night Sisters on the planet Peridia. It's a galaxy that's definitely not from the main universe, and it's entirely new distance. And it is a curious thing to me and the fans of Star Wars. Like it's been like talked about in like the old Legends Star Wars books, and this is kind of like the Legends universe of the galaxy. Like this is supposedly the place where, if you read any of those books or novels, that these are like the characters that exist in this galaxy. And without showing a lot, they really hinted a lot of characters that could be showing up in a live action, and these are really cool. I mean, there's so many in that novelty book, like of this about Thrawn and all that. It's crazy. I just can't believe it, but I'm really excited that there is a chance that they're gonna tell a lot more Star Wars stories from that. I mean, is this official? They're like these stories are officially becoming canon to the Star Wars. Like, I that's just nuts to me, and it's very excited, to be honest. And back to this episode, they meet the Night Sisters, and they're saying you guys are gonna have to wait a little bit and wait for Thrawn's arrival, which he's heading to that planet. And then we get him, and they put Sabrin lock her up in a little cell because, she's been tricked. And Balin knew what he was doing, but like, just like Yuang was saying, like, to Ahsoka, like, maybe this is the only choice she thought she had, because at the end she is trying to get Ezra, and she knows that Saber knows that Ezra can help stop Thrawn because he's the closest one that she knows that could do it. And so she's got to have hope and faith in this, and it's really crazy that she put all this trust. And she's hoping that Ahsoka's coming, and I think she believes that she is, which we know she is. And then we get the reveal of Thrawn. And we see like this cult-like stormtroopers. We see him in live action for the first time. And he's revealing everything, what he's going to do, how the plan's going. And he's using dark magic for a guy who's a general who's supposed to be against like that stuff. He's using it, which is shocking. But I get the idea of that. Okay, he's desperate. He's trying to get out. Like, let's just be clear. Like, he's trying to get back to the main galaxy. So he's making deals, not sucking up, but playing nice, playing fair. But he's also coming up with ideas to make sure that if they all turn on him, he's going to get them. And obviously he's still trying to. I mean, when they reveal this, like, he even agreed to let Sabrin go find Ezra and even told her that he might be dead. Like, and then he sends off Baylan and Shin to go out and hunt them down and get rid of them permanently. And what's crazy is it's like, okay, what's Thrawn doing? And we find out that, again, he's just playing along. He has his master plan, and also he's in desperate need. Like, he's talking about his crew is dwindling down. He's talking about things, and then like there is something on this planet that he fears that he's trying to get out. Like, but who's more powerful than Thrawn in this universe, aka this galaxy? I don't know. I mean, there's a lot I can think of, but I want to share that for a later time because I'm not sure if they're going to go that deep within the legacy continuity of characters that they told. So I'm not really sure, because we saw, like, you know, as Sabrin's off on like a horse that looks like a horse, rides like a horse, but looks like a dog. And I know they call it a hollower. And you know what's really cool is, you know, we see that there's a little that Star Wars comical story of these two bonding. You know, like Rey bonding with the little droid, or you know, Luke Skywalker with RDD2. Yeah, little things like that, right? Or the Mando with Grogu. But I also like the idea of this, that we're getting like a new bond between her. And we never seen the comical side of her yet. I mean, yeah, a little bit of sarcastic, but we get it. And another thing I like what they show in this episode that I want to bring up is that we see a new version of stormtroopers. And Thrawn's right-hand man, Enoch, he has like some gold armor, and his stormtrooper helmet's like a gold face, like you would see in a tomb. And I'm really curious, what is Thrawn taking? Why he's taking all these coffins? What items is he bringing with him to the main galaxy? Because he's pretty confident that even if Baylan and Shin don't get rid of Ezra and Sabrin, that he's gonna just ditch him. Like, he don't care. Like, he's on his own mind. Like, he's on it. And while that's happening, right, we see like these samurai like people try to jump Sabrin, and then they were about to attack Baylan and Shin, but he kind of made a deal. But the idea is Baylan said something crazy, and I think it just, even he has his own plan, and I just wonder what's going on with this. But at the end, Thrawn is going to leave them all except Megan, because and the three Night Sisters as well, because they made a deal, and that's the only deal that he cares about. It doesn't matter how they all got there. He just needs to get back to the main galaxy and do what he does. And at that too, at the same time, we also see Saber, and happy to see Ezra and stuff as she follows these like hybrid like hermit crabs and stuff. But she didn't tell him the full story. Like, did my sacrifice make it? Was it worth it? And she was like, "Can I just be happy to see you? This is like my moment, just to be happy." And he laughs and lets her, but she eventually is gonna have to tell him like, "We need your help. Like, things ain't going right now. Things are getting messed up." And I honestly, I love this episode. I'm definitely, oh my god, I'm definitely giving this a 10 out of 10 because this had like Star Wars clone moments, Clone Wars basically. This has the Rebels from the other cartoon series. Like this, like, oh man, you know they're gonna do the Star Wars Resistance at some point in a live action some way. Like it, this is such a good episode, and now we're getting more, and I'm just curious what is else so powerful on this little planet that they're on. So let's get into some of the topics. What do we want to talk about? Let's talk about Thrawn. What is he afraid of? Now, I have this theory I want to share with you. If you remember this cartoon character from the Star Wars series, Clone Wars, or even like Rebels, the Bendu, this was like he looks like a moose that can talk, basically. And he's kind of like Yoda, very wise, very knowledgeable. He's very powerful, and you don't want to make him mad. And he taught Kaden how to see when Kaden is blind, basically, with the Force, how to use the Force to help him actually see, and use his ability. Like, he's also stated that he's the gray between good and bad. Like, he fought Thrawn, but he's helped the dark side. He's helped the evil. You know, like, for whatever reason, he's said that he's like the gray area. And I think, in theory, the Bendu is going to show up in episode 7, and that's the thing that Thrawn's running away from, because he's so powerful, Thrawn cannot beat it. And that's why I think Ezra has lived and survived the way he was living, because maybe Bendu or something like that maybe was protecting him and helping him out. And Ezra knows more what he's leading on, because we don't know what Ezra's been doing and how he did survive. And there's a lot, like, maybe it's the poor girls. Maybe the poor girls have a alpha male and it talks, and it's like God, and it I don't know, it just talks. I don't know, like that's my theory. I think my theory is it's either a giant creature that is gonna talk, you know, through your mind in real life. I don't know. It's just, I think there's a giant creature that is very smart, can talk, and is very powerful, that even Thrawn knows he can't defeat. And the next thing I also want to bring up, what is he bringing? I think these are coffins. So we see these stormtroopers. So here's my theory. I think these stormtroopers are zombies, in a sense. Like, I noticed like some red ribbons around them. And these stormtroopers have like a new outfit, a new design in a sense. But I think they're dead. And I think the three sister knights, these witches, brought them back from, resurrect them from the dead. And I think by snapping the fingers, they all collapse and have like green smoke. I think the suits, the armor, is their bodies, is their skins. So that's what I think. Because he did say they're dwindling down in men. So I can see that. Because as we look, the bandits, right? I think they're like the original like clone troopers of whatever few left that survived, right? And I think they abandoned Thrawn. I think they said, "This is crazy." I think they realized Thrawn is crazy, and he can't be like the leader like Darth Vader was, and I think they know that. So that's why I think those bandits are there, because they have like the samurai, and it reminds me of season 1, episode 1 of Star Wars Vision with those. And maybe that's part of that universe too. Like Vision, the series on Disney Plus. Like I think that's part of that too. I think the way they hinted, I see a lot of clues in that one episode, so it could be. I don't know. And with Thrawn, I think that he's got some items too that can help start the war and bring back the Empire. And I just can't see how. Maybe this is how like Palpatine like somehow survived like at the last like Star Wars movie. I just think there's so much that is not being explained but being told. By each episode has the next answer from the last question. It's one of those things. But again, I think that Thrawn is just doing this for now, but he's bringing enough back to start a whole new war. And I think that's it. That's his main goal. What I think about Ezra, I think this is cool. This is a full-grown Ezra. Long hair, shaggy beard. And it's been rough. Like, he's got some stuff, but I don't really got enough much, but they haven't given him a lot of dialogue. But hopefully, I think he's not gonna be mad at Sabrin. He's not gonna be disappointed, but he's gonna say, "Okay, we gotta do the right thing and get this fixed." And he's gonna make that ultimate sacrifice again. That's what I think. So, let's talk about Baylan Skoll and Shin. So, it seems like General Baylan Skoll has a different plans, because Shin was like, "What are we doing? Why are we this?" She's kind of like asking, but she's not asking in like, "Oh, you're breaking the rules." She's like, "What are we doing?" And he's basically told her that he has different plans, and it seems like he's gonna stay on planet Pedra as the new home, like. Because now this goes back to my last theory, is I think he was the boy when Anakin decided to go on the dark side, Revenge of the Sith, if you remember that. But I think that was it. I think that he was that boy. I mean, this is him saying, "You know what, like, it's all the same thing." He's talking about people dying, your closest ones, these useless sacrifice that mean nothing. Like, he's seen a lot and he was traumatized, and he's trying to teach Shin a new way. And he labeled them as, I thought it said Bakken, like Bokken Jedis, or broken Jedis. I think that what it was, broken Jedis. And that's what he labels Ezra, Sabrin, Ahsoka. Like, I think those are like the broken Jedis, even to themselves. Like, he don't even consider himself a Sith Lord in any way. Like, he's just sick and tired of it. But he still wants. I bet he wants to keep that lightsaber, though. I'm just saying. But I think what that means is he's gonna start a war. He's gonna start a new revolution, or revolutionary. And it's going to take a lot of characters. And I think that kind of sets up another season of The Mandalorian. Because this would be a crazy way to start a new fight, a new villain. Like, I think Baylan Skoll, I know the actor passed away, but I think this could be the character Shin to take on that mantle and do some amazing things. That's what I think. I think there's so much potential with Shin, that character, and I think there's more story to her, and to see her grow and maybe become the good guy. But I would like to see her stay on the villain side for a while, but that's just me. But other than that, I love this episode. I'm giving it a 10 out of 10, man. It was great. I really just was so excited to see Thrawn and Ezra, of course. And I cannot wait. I know I just said that he might make the ultimate sacrifice, but I also hope that they keep those characters alive just a little bit longer, because there's so much more stories they can do with those characters, and I definitely want to see those. So that's my review. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel, Great Talking Entertainment Official Channel. Subscribe, hit that notification button so you can always be updated with all my latest content. Thank you, and peace out.